Well, by request, I am streaming another freaking set of opening cores. But my question is this actually popular? Thank you, Lark, for this mundane atrocity that you have behested on me. I don't know any English to say it.
Farewell!
Farewell! It's time to end the stream. Anyway. Apparently I'm supposed to open these one at a time. People love watching others struggle. But like at some point, don't you just get bored? Because sure, it's interesting to see someone struggle, but I'm not really struggling because of anything. It's just more whether I get lucky or not. So it's not a struggle, more as
Part with a smile.
I guess you want to see them just stare at a screen. Here, let's put in some musical noise, some clicky noises. Gotta get close to the mic. There you go. Because it gets, otherwise there's nothing else to see. I'm supposed to see a giant spikes everywhere in the outlines, and that will be Cosmos. So okay, the reason, okay, so there's one thing I'm doing different by last time. Last time I threw away a whole bunch of people, and I opened a shit ton of cores. But this time I'm going to go back and forth and open one core at a time and remove the most recent one I have, because Devin or Phoenix and I have, or for yesterday, have tried to figure out whether this game has a set. It's either the probability is more like drawing a card out of a hat, and then when you throw away the character, it's like putting the card back into the hat and then you shuffle it around. So the question becomes, will I get the same common core that I've gotten before? And so to prove it, what? I don't want eShop. There we go. I took a picture of this guy, Krogane. And I have everything about this dude, just to make sure that if he does show up exactly like this, then it's gonna be the same thing as drawing a card out of a hat. But my theory is that it's actually like you draw from a percentage, so it's like a 98% that you get a common blade and a 2% from all the rare blades. And each rare blade has a percentage, so it makes up that 2%. But as you lose rare blades, the common blades still exist that are just randomly generated, and you lose that overall percentage of the rare blades. So that's my theory. And so if I get I almost want to say Kroger, but he's not by Kroger. So if Krogane appears again, mission accomplished.
This is
But if
well.
Krogane,
No use
for
fighting
whatever reason, hasn't appeared for a long time, then we shall see. This stream is gonna take a longer than an hour. Only because I have to go switch back and forth and I can't just mindlessly open them. Hello, bro. I've seen these names before, but I don't actually remember whether I've had them as that element and weapon. I will say this. There's no freaking way I'm gonna memorize any of those names. They all sound so made up, too. They just kind of put like random Japanese together and just like there's a name. Of course, there's also one that just breaks kind of the Japanese rule. I feel. I feel like the translators did this on purpose. And it's the name Nene. There's no way I can believe any sane Japanese person would name their child Nene. Maybe that's just insulting. But you know what? I'm gonna put it out there. I'm a douchebag. Oh my god, how many is that? That's 57. Oh god. I am not looking forward to this. It's 150 of these. At least. It's more like 156. 6? Or is it 7? Do my math right. But, be that as it may, we are doing the stream. And you're going to see this over and over and over again until something happens. Yes, let's release Mithra and screw myself over.
Fare thee well.
No more topple for Rex, ever. I don't know what else to say. What do people say during this time? Do they just like do they just put a like a webcam of their faces and just stare blankly at this screen until they get Cosmos? If they ever do.
Thanks for everything.
Thanks for everything. Well, you know what? You didn't really live long. Hey, that's cold. You know what? I need a face cam. I need a full body suit. Like, I just need motion capture. I have a giant green suit. I have like the dots all over my face. Get it motion cam. And I'm gonna animate Jabba the Hutt as I'm doing this. It's gonna have my full facial features as I am sitting here depressed that I'm actually streaming. Not even the fact that I'm opening these cores, is the fact that I'm streaming the fact that I'm opening these cores. Yeah, let's do this. Legendary with Justice 5. It doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything. The Justice boosters only sway what kind of element you have, but doesn't really mean that you'll actually get the element that you want. Oh look, we got shit. Oh man, look at that. Like Scizor? Like scissors? Can I call you just scissors? Apparently I'm supposed to keep the rare 4s, but I'm at this point I don't care.
I'm sure we'll meet again sometime.
So rare 4s, if you max out their affinity. So let's see your affinity. No. You are supposed to get overdrive. But that sounds like a pain in the butt. This is like as if I took some constipation pills and decided that I want to hold it in. Hagen. Come on, Mithra. Why you no be released?
I'm gonna miss you.
Nope. Too many buttons. Oh God, please, Rex. I don't need you. You don't need nobody. Oh man. You know, if this was an actual, if this streaming, if this, how do I say it? This event of me streaming, me just opening cores and nothing else. Isn't this what you would do? Like how you would react when you were told to like watch paint dry or watch grass grow? It's gonna happen at some point. But the only one who's suffering is the people who are watching. Nobody would watch paint dry. Granted, there's a flash game of it, but, you know, aside from that. Azuki.
Thanks for everything.
Is it Asuke? Azuki? I always don't like the English way of spelling some of the Japanese names. Because I got yelled at by children when I was 7th grade. When I didn't know all the Naruto names. And they spelled Sasuke's name S-U-S-A-K-E. So I pronounced it exactly like Sasuke. And I got yelled at. Hey, Fury Bane. Rio. Welcome to the depressing stream, which Lark wanted for whatever freaking reason.
That's what you want.
If that's what you want, I guess we're doing the stream. Common Blades. We are opening this, even though I have no reason to open any of these cores. And I can't show you all the blades I have because there's a spoiler in the album. I guess technically Mithra is a spoiler, but you know what? That's not really a spoiler because Nintendo already spoiled it. Akatsuki.
That was real fun.
That was real fun, pal. I'm so glad we spent a whole 2 seconds of relational growth. At some point, oh man, I can't wait till I'm 70 and doing this exact same game. The entire stream is just gonna be me, like, completely grumpy. Back in my day, I didn't have to do this shit. And we didn't have to make it so complicated to get the things that we wanted. There was no fucking loot boxes.
I'll miss you.
We just paid a coin and then we played the game. Is there really a difference between grumpy and salty? I'm pretty sure they're the same at some point. When did salty become the new word? Please, Mithra. No! Too many buttons.
I look forward to our paths crossing again.
But anyway, be that as it may. Oh my god. Guys, I have 18 more common cores left. How exciting. Can't you tell from my freaking monotone voice? See, I beat the game because I didn't care at some point. It got too obnoxious trying to get all the rare blades. And also the fact that there's no real reason to beat the game. Because once you get to a certain level, you just
Fare thee
do
well.
side quests until you get to like 82 and then start beating the boss to get the legendary cores. I just have a whole bunch of common cores because I decided that I want to go fight some random bosses. But it turns out they're more pain in the butt than level 104. Ironic. Thanks for everything. Especially the dialogue for you to continue talking. What is chapter 6? Dude, I never did Zenobia's affinity chart. It was not worth it. It was literally just running around trying to kill the dudes. And all I could think is, if I had Zenobia early on, sure.
Oh,
But nah. Is Tantal. Oh. You're there. Heh, Tantal. You're gonna have fun in that area. I just want to say that Tantal has so there's not a lot of effects on weather that you really have to care about, but Tantal kind of just throws.
Goodbye then.
They throw a giant nuke at you when you're unprepared with the weather. So don't die. If you want the spoilers, it's not really a spoiler. Besides death. Once it gets smoggy or like hazy or whatever the weather condition is, don't die. Don't freaking die. That place is a pain in the butt.
So here it ends. I'll never forget you.
So here it ends. I'll never forget. I like all these quotes, but all of these quotes kind of like infuriate me at this point. Because I don't want to see or hear any of this. See, if I never discovered Finch, I think I'd have something to look forward to. But I've beaten the game. I don't think I want to play more of the game just to unlock Cosmos. All the Blade stories.
Okay, bye then.
That was quick. That was simple and quick. I like you. I don't like the people who are like, oh, it's a darn shame, and then just drag out that entire animation until it actually decides that it's gonna disappear. So I used to think that some of these the voice lines that they gave were kind of they put guilt on you, but now it doesn't because I just see them anyway.
Thanks for everything.
Like, so I wasn't strong enough. It's like, yeah, but it's not really the fact that you weren't strong enough, it's that you weren't the right blade. So get the hell out of here. I've became an interviewer, like an employer for a job, and I'm reviewing some employees or interviewees. It's like, you're not right for the job. Get the fuck out of here. I swear I've seen some of these people, but I don't know. I've seen the names for sure.
Oh,
That's a darn shame.
Oh, it's a darn shame. I just need to drink a whole bunch of coffee and feel even more bitter. All right. Well, the common cores are almost done. That's exciting.
I see. Well, take care.
Caffeine is good for the soul. You know, I don't actually like coffee, or there are the few things I don't drink anything. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink alcohol, and I don't smoke. And I definitely avoid any of the energy drinks because they're actually kind of nasty to me. Too much flavor. So I can drink a little sip, but I don't need that much. And people have asked me, it's like, how did you survive college without it? And all I could say is, I had my own drug. It's called video games. And it de-stresses me. So speaking of stress, if you want to, for anyone who's going to mechanical engineering, there's going to be a class where you learn all about stress. And out of context, that's just weird. But in context, it is so true. Are you Krogane? What was that, Krogan? Nope. Oh no, I closed it. Hey, that's cold.
Okay, bye then.
You know, I will say those who have a podcast, literally a podcast where it's only audio, I salute them for figuring out how to make a conversation for a set, like a pretty hefty amount of time when they're doing it solo. There's no way I could do that. I mean, sure, if you're very angry about something and you just want to say like
Goodbye.
fuck multiple times, but that doesn't really, that's not very intellectually made then. I will say that I've gotten sick and tired of the haptic feedback on the controllers whenever we're opening I guess technically I open any of the cores. Because it's just a physical reminder of how depressing the result would be. Buzz, buzz, and buzz.
Farewell.
Wait, I've seen that name. Have we gotten that same person before? Whatever. Let me see my Krogane or Kroger. What do people talk about? What do people even say as they're opening this? Do they just go like, shit, every time they don't get it? Because that's going to be at least 100 times. I feel like there has to be some sort of conversational thing. And this has to be just literally background noise. Much like everything else. Like the viewers of any stream like this. No, that is this. Just opening cores. Should only have it in their headset, and they should be doing something else. Until, I don't know, they hear some other, like, another sound effect that cues in a non-common blade. Because, at some point, I know when I was opening cores alone, I learned to do it. Well, first I had to clear out a whole bunch of lists, but I've learned to do everything with one hand since it's Joy-Cons. I can do that. You've heard me play Monster Hunter before. It's almost that bad. Really? The only time I've really ever heard you have a conversational time was, I guess it wasn't really conversational because we were fighting giant Plesioth. So we were like, I'm healing, or I'm reloading, or cover me, I'm sharpening, or heal me, or just general fuck or shit. And that's about it. It's not that bad. But be that as it may, hey look, a NO-KOS-MOS.
Okay, bye then.
You say a long string of profanities at Monster Hunter. I feel like that would tire you out at some point. You're just like, oh man, I run out of things to say. Or you're just gonna repeat them. Unless you're really good at coming up with crazy stuff, then kudos. I've lost all capabilities of conversational skills because I don't know how to speak, and I'm an engineer. I'm a student of mechanical engineering, so I don't know how to speak. I like math more because there's no spoken language about it, and if there is, there's an answer. It's a thinkless language. You know, it's kind of funny how a lot of people hate math. But it's not that people hate it because it's math. It's more, I would say it's more of the fact that people aren't taught math in a very interesting way. Because a lot of the, at least a lot of the experiences I've had with math and with some teachers is literally they just give you a page. They just give you a paper and then say go fucking do it. And that's it. There's no excitement in that. And it's like everywhere else. You can't really teach mathematics without doing it. So I understand that, but it's more like they don't. It seems more like a rigid factory work, where it's literally just pump out an answer, and there might be a complex answer. And I don't know, where it'd be like, hey, there's supposed to be a hinge here, but there's no hinge. Now go fucking deal with it.
Goodbye.
But I feel like that's a really depressing way to teach math, because like there's in every other class they always try and make it interesting, but why is it math that's always the terrible one that just gets punched in the face? So I find it, I guess, slightly depressing that, so I don't mind people not liking math, but I find it depressing that they don't want to like math. Because in every language, regardless of where you learn it or how you pronounce it, everybody knows what 1 plus 1 is. And if everybody uses Arabic numerals, the thing where that I don't know how to show pictures of it besides typing it out, but basically the Arabic numerals right there under the column title carrying, those are Arabic numerals. Everybody knows what those are. How many boosters? The Arabic numeral of 5. Like, everybody knows that. So it's fascinating, because if you take that to any person, regardless of what nationality, religion, or political beliefs is, if you show that, they can probably answer it for you. And that's a really cool way of thinking about it. It's a universal language. Whereas if you put any of the English out there, like, some people can't read it or struggle with it. But you pull up 1 plus 1, everybody knows.
So I wasn't strong enough.
Okay, maybe not everybody knows. There are some people who are unfortunately who are unfortunate in not having the privilege to learn those. I want to say the right to learn those, but then I realized that some places, I think they have a bigger issue somewhere else than that, but, you know, be that as it may.
Until next time.
Oh man, Zeke, enhance that image, put some eigenvalues and eigenvectors on that bitmap, and zoom in, rotate on a 45-degree angle on that y-axis. Enhance. Look at that. Enhance the bitmap range of the. I don't know.
Thanks for everything.
So my mom was watching a drama about some detectives, and they literally had like one of those old computers. I don't know what those monitors are called, but like the really fat ones. The really fat ones that are like LED lights, and that when you press the button, it just goes bloom, and then it has to warm up and pull it out, like pull out an image that you can see. And they pulled up like, I don't know, what is it? Internet Explorer on Windows 7, not 7, like 2000 or something, and they had the program on somewhere as well. They were like, hold on, just enhance that. I was just like, what the hell? Like, don't bullshit on this. You know, I'd probably be even more infuriated if I actually knew what they were saying. Because if they said anything like, you have to enhance the algorithm and change the eigenvalues and eigenvectors for that bitmap on that image within the retinals, I was just like, what does that mean? if anybody knows what eigenvalues and eigenvectors are, that's not what it's for. And bitmap is not the way to do it. That is not the proper use of bitmap. Like, nobody talks bullshit jargon like that on with cooking. You don't go like, you have to increase the algorithm within your cooking skills and change the like eigenvalues and like vectors on the bitmap of your tools. And it's like, what does that mean? Everybody just says, stop, don't do that shit. You're gonna kill people. That's literally it.
I'm sure we'll
Or like, hey, if you put that in there, you're gonna explode some stuff. Do you increase the cooking algorithms of your tools to shorten the runtime of the computational powers? Oh man, I need to make the most convoluted way to speak something. I'm so bad at speaking, but I want to be as fluent as possible so that I can be as stupid as possible. Like, increase the cooking algorithms within your utensils and increase the runtime such that the eigenvalues and eigenvectors are aligned to the stars and placed on the bitmaps within the pixels of the wok.
Fare thee well.
Oh man, I will say this now. If there's a cooking show that literally talks in that bullshit jargon and doesn't like cooks it, but without like telling you exactly what they're doing. So like as they're like, I don't know, stir frying meat, they would say like, I'm increasing the runtime within the algorithms of the carbon based liquid. And molding the molding the what is it? Oh man, I can't think of anything. Oh man, I can't believe I forgot this thing. The Navier-Stokes equation of the bitmap. There we go. Like, I want full-on bizarre. Video game science jargon mathy cook show. Like, wouldn't that be amazing? I'd totally just buy cable or Netflix, like, pay for that just to see that one show. Where it's literally, they take all the jargons of every science, mathematics, like anything that's out there. And then just, I don't know, bake an egg in a microwave. And then they'd talk about the result of it. It's like, oh, I don't know. The cosine of this explosion has been increased such that the sign language. Okay, I lost it there. Never mind. But I think you guys get my point. I would love it.
Goodbye then.
You know, actually, you know what? Someone has to make a video game about that. Mingle Bells, I think that's kind of the point of it, because you're literally just throwing like random words. Because Navier-Stokes has nothing to do with cooking or anything. It's literally how it's a giant formula that predicts and calculates the path of a fluid. It has nothing to do with, I don't know,
I'm sure we'll meet again
whatever
somewhere.
stir frying of meat or figuring out an enhancement program for your bitmap bitmap retinal imaging. Put it in a cooking show. What else would be very entertaining? I think I want a video game that kind of mocks that too, or a movie show. I think there was one by, well, I mean, there's not a show, but there was an episode on college humor that mocks it. I think it's that one. Maybe it's not. Oh, you are 4-star. Let me not use you for a bit, even though I won't play this game anymore.
I'll cherish my memories of
Once
this
I get
time.
Cosmos. The DLC is apparently supposed to give more content rather than, you know, just random packs. So maybe there's a point. So I guess I said eigenvalues and eigenvectors, but there was that one video that someone made about the what is that? The NCIS show? Is that the thing? I don't know any of the whatever shows,
best of
but
luck
like the
in all
cop,
that.
the American cop shows, detective, whatever, where some dude was talking about eigenvalues and eigenvectors, and I was just like, okay, because they aren't values and vectors that we know. Eigenvalues and eigenvectors are a little bit different, and that's if you go into partial differential equations. Those things are important when you're for some people, because as my professor would quote, you would use them if you want to predict if, when the Ebola scare was happening, if either the Ebola would just destroy the entire world or we'd be able to fight it off. But I don't think you would need that ridiculous thing in an enhancement program. Maybe it does. Maybe the program that they're trying to figure out was about Ebola. The retinal Ebola imaging scan. But be that as it may, I don't have any more topics to talk about besides making fun of shows. Like that one specific stupid instant.
I see. Well, take care.
See, I feel like I wish I was more studious in my college days, because then I would actually have more terms to just randomly spew out as I'm calculating the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of this image retinas as he opens his quantum algorithm within the Navier-Stokes core crystal. There's gotta be other ones. I know there's some really bland ones like Planck's constant, but you know, that's more chemistry, biology.
That's a shame. Oh well.
Well, if we want to know bizarre facts, the U.S. state Indiana tried to pass a law where the irrational number pi, 3.1415926, blah 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 blah, they just wanted to make it 4. Just flat 4. Not even not even just 3, not even 3.1. 4. Why 4? I don't know. See, this is why I kind of wished I was a little bit more involved in education, like learning stuff, because then I wouldn't make a stupid, like, I wouldn't be, see, I want to be shown as an idiot, but I don't want to go around as an idiot. So like I don't mind, like I want to be I want to be a little bit more educated so that I know something is stupid so that I can make fun of me being stupid, but I don't want to go around completely stupid and ignorant.
Thanks for everything.
So speaking of being completely ignorant and stupid, I was teaching, or I guess I was supposed to, teach some 8th graders with their math, like their extracurricular math club called Math Counts. And there was a problem that was completely worded out, just full of words. And I just stood there just thinking about it. It's like, what the heck? But the kids figured it out faster than I did. So all I could think is, man, I am not doing my job. And so I told the parents, like, I don't want to do this anymore because I'm not any use.
Hey, that's cold.
Yet they kept me. I kept telling them it was a terrible idea. But be that as it may, they decide they're going to see how it goes. I don't know if it's jargon, to be honest, because Navier-Stokes is an actual thing. I wouldn't say it's a jargon. Maybe more, I would say the bitmap or eigenvalues and eigenvectors. I guess you can call those jargons because you never know outside of like serious theoretical analysis or like the people who run calculations on predictions, medical predictions. Because the examples that we had with those two words, eigenvalues and eigenvectors, the example problems always, like, one of them would talk about the rate of growth within a bacteria of a specific human, and then you had like an equation about the rate of growth, and you had to predict whether that person, like how that person's graph would look like and whatnot. Something like that. I don't remember much. And you would use those eigenvectors and eigenvalues to make the graph, but I can't, like, if anyone was to ask me like what those were, I'd tell them, you know what, read a book, because I can't help you with that. So my math knowledge has gone, I went to college with, and then got up to partial differential equations, but the math I retained is basically up to first year calculus, and that's about it. I can't go any higher. Very depressing, because I just kind of went into the math class and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's what you want.
Man, Zeke must be very tired of holding all these stuff. That should be a real exercise right there. Like, hold out a core crystal for like a couple seconds and then pretend you're actually opening it, and then go back to trying to open another one. Like, no, without putting down your arm, just constantly back and forth on that motion. For 150, I think there's 157 since we started. At the start of this, so I guess a couple seconds with each, something like that.
I look forward to our paths crossing again.
But anyway, enough of the bizarre and terrible topics that I don't think a lot of people are interested about. How are you guys? People, I don't know your genders. Gals, guys, theys, them, it's. Okay, it's is not a thing, but, you know. I don't know what you want to be referred to, but there you go. I've spent for me, I spent today messaging
So now we
a
part.
coordinator
It's been
who
an
supervises the a thing called transition to teaching program, and I was just very confused about some of the requirements to actually go into that program to be a teacher. So I spent the day trying to figure out that program, which will start in April. So that's when school kind of goes back for me. But it's more, I don't think I'll ever have to take more math class because I'm going to teach high schoolers.
I'll miss you.
But apparently it's a pretty long transitional thing because it's a year and I have to take two classes where each of them cost $1,000 and some special training program. I don't know. Class, I guess not program, but classes within that program. And depending on what my advisor, math department advisor says, I might actually have to go back to math. And I have to take another SAT standardized, not SAT, but something similar to that, like a standardized test, where I have to be judged on my mathematics, critical reading, and writing portion. Again. And so I'm trying to debate on whether I should just wing it in the beginning and hope that I pass. I'm hoping there's multiple chances. If there's only one, then I'm probably not gonna do that. That would be really bad if I screwed up. The only problem with being a high school teacher is the fact that I actually have to go there earlier.
Cross again.
This mail is doing fine. Cool. Cool. See, online, I don't actually try and impose a gender on people. The only way I impose a gender is not by their name, but when I play a game with you, like, let's say Monster Hunter. Not this game. This game doesn't have coop. There's no cooping. But like Monster Hunter or I guess there's only that. Never mind. There's no other games that I would play in coop. Maybe Bloodborne. Never mind. Then I would base it on your gender based on what character you put, but I wouldn't impose that on you.
Thanks for everything.
But thanks. I might pass. It really depends on how awful it is. Because if there's a multiple chance, I'm definitely going to take it early. Just so that I can see what it is. And if I pass, whatever. I'm not going to deal with it. But again, going back to the high school teacher thing. The only problem I have with high school teacher is really just getting up in the early mornings. Because I'm no early morning person. Especially when I'm streaming right now at 12:51 a.m. That's no morning person.
So I wasn't strong enough.
But I'm trying to figure out how I would want to teach a class. I'm definitely going to do mathematics because math is easy. Math is super easy. It's literally just a formula and you just shove it in and you're done. There's no complex like feelings you have to analyze or like interpret what the character is saying or like memorize a whole bunch of like dates for events that really, why would you ever do that for a history class? That's not a history class. I forget which class it was, But I was so annoyed. I think it was my sociology class where they were talking about like there was a section on the exam, and it was like a specific court case about like gender equality, I think. But the question was about that, but it said what date it was, and I was like, I know that's somewhat relevant because you want to time when it happened and then relate it to how the events changed afterwards, but I don't want to memorize just the date. So, you know.
That's a shame. Oh well. Eyes forward.
I think math isn't really that difficult. I just feel like it's been perceived that way because we kind of punch people in the face with it. That's how I feel about it. So, maybe it's because I am a mathematically aligned person, but I always feel like math shouldn't be something difficult. Sure, like talking about partial differential equations, like that's just crazy people thing. But I always feel like some mathematics with like maybe just the beginnings of calculus, more in the algebra range. I think the problem really comes down to how it's taught, because if you're taught to if the only thing you're taught is getting a giant book and then a giant homework page, that's not really learning. But you're good at math because you're Asian. I don't think so. I have a friend who's even crazier. He ain't no Asian. He's a freaking genius.
Well,
That guy is one of my friends decided that he wants to major in mechanical engineering, computer science, become a president for solar club racing, where you build a solar car from scratch and actually try and run it. And then he worked in a lab with a professor where they take two cameras, like two video cameras, point it at an object, and render it in 3D. And he wrote a code for that. That guy is a genius. And then immediately after graduation, he went into a program for military drones. And he casually says that, yeah, we're making a program where the drones would automatically detect other drones and shoot it down. And all I can think is, you casually said that? Like, that man has to be feared. But be that as it may,
I'll cherish my memories of this time.
I decided to become a high school math teacher because I always feel like that's the critical point when people actually hate or like math. I always feel like that. I definitely had that same character. This character, who was it? I don't have a screenshot of it. But I definitely had this person. Oh shoot. You know what? Let's have a celebratory jump off the cliff. Wait, Rex, you're just fine?
that was poorly judged.
Again?
Okay, I guess Rex is fine. That was poorly judged, except I didn't die.
Goodbye, then.
So, speaking of being a high school teacher, I'm currently doing substitute teaching in a high school. It was my old high school, so I'm cheating there. So I've been trying to take in students' perspective on what they would want in a math class. And so I've been trying to implement it in... So whenever I substitute... I don't know how to say it. Substitute taught? That's weird. Whenever I was a substitute teacher for math class, I
So here it ends.
try
I'll
to
never
be a
forget
little
you.
bit more engaging when I teach. Sometimes I fail. Apparently the students like me. But, I don't know. I've been reported by my... what did my friend say? It was very bizarre too. I've been reported as that substitute. That's a little frightening, I will say, but... Oh, hey, it's a rare 4. Yeah, get the hell out of here. I don't want to see you. But be that as it may, I don't know what... I'm just really blabbing here because I don't know what to talk about, and... There's no way anybody's satisfied with just watching this. Please be honest. If I made this completely silent without my voice, because whatever, and just put this up, would people actually watch this?
Farewell!
No. I'm apparently popular. Nobody would watch without commentary. See, but the thing about it is I have to think about what random topics I can talk about. At some point it just goes into a full circle. Oh man. It goes into a full circle where I don't have anything to talk about, so I try and think about something to talk about, but then I just talk about where I can't talk about anything.
That's cold.
Monster Hunter World. Guys, I'm excited for Monster Hunter World. This time, instead of 2 monsters that can ruin your day at the same time, there can be 3. Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of people know this, and if they don't, this is primarily a Monster Hunter stream. So if that's not your game, I'm sorry.
This is fate as well. No use fighting it.
See, like, I never found the difficulties in 3 monsters because they rarely they don't actually get all together unless you force them together. So I never found that a problem per se. And most of the time, a lot of the monsters just kind of growl at you, just standing still.
I'll miss
Hey,
you.
our advance. Our advance. There we go. Guys, this is exciting. I have 79 more to go. God, I'm halfway there. How long has the stream been going? An hour. Man, Joseph. That's you know what? You had days, so whatever.
Okay, bye then.
You know, I feel like that's really what getting a job is, because that's the primary the primary reason of getting a job is to fund my games. I feel like if you're not raising a family, that's really what it is. You get paid to do your hobbies. Why would you do anything else? I mean, sure, you pay for it, like food and stuff, but you know, that's to live on for your hobbies.
If that's what you want.
Save and invest? Pfft, who does that? I'm gonna go bankrupt early and then be depressed later. Nope, not Morag. Do not want.
Let's create the path you believe in.
I think the only interesting thing that happened in this the only interesting thing that happened in the stream is the fact that I really wanted a cooking show where they use a whole bunch of science math words for no reason whatsoever. Oh, Furybane 42. Those rules are old. I have not updated any of them. I stopped streaming for 2 years or something.
Fare thee well.
Because I got tired. College didn't exactly make it fun, and the fact that I didn't have good internet until like a year ago, it doesn't help. I will say this. If I guess I will have to. I guess I don't. Oh man, I almost saw this name as Sugar. Oh my god. So I've been ignoring my tradition, which you know. Oh shoot. Is it really Friday? Whoops. Technically, today is a black and white stream. But I've been ignoring that for the most part. But I will do that at some point. When I remember. Oh, it's after midnight. Right. I forgot about that rule. The illogical. Oh, hey, you're a 4-star. Whatever. Get out of here. Oh man, time is the weirdest thing. Because everybody knows what time is. Or what time is, but they don't know how to define time. It's like trying to define what fire is without using pictures, examples, or any of that stuff, and purely only words to a 4-year-old. It's not gonna work. Like you can tell by examples and stuff like that, but you can't say it by pure words. It's just impossible.
So I wasn't strong enough.
Whoa, I just skipped people. Okay, I guess Morag, you can have it if you want it. Time is relative. That is true. If you wanna be younger, technically you're supposed to move around. But you can also do that by driving around or flying a plane just constantly. You'll be younger than the people who are not moving. That's a weird thing. I ain't no scientist. I can't tell anything. Cosmos is relative. Cosmos is time. There's no way to say it. Cosmos is time. I am literally just waiting. My God, I am so tired. So I think if I become what's maybe not terrible, but what's a term you would use once I become a regular streamer with a regular amount? I don't know what a regular amount of viewers is. I've only had at most double digits in the tens, but that was just a fluke. If I do become a regular streamer, whatever the term may be, I feel like I'm going to put up a donation link, but I'm gonna hide it under like some random URL and redirect them to like Borders Without or Doctors Without Borders
Sure we'll meet again
or some
somewhere.
other charity group. But I need to put up a donation. I need to put up a whole bunch of donation links everywhere. That just redirects them to that charity anyway. Just to be that douchebag. So I need to have is it Nightbot? Is that the thing? I think that's the thing. Where it just auto blurt like blabbers random shit. But instead of saying like, subscribe, and whatever, follow, comment, which obviously they're not gonna do when you tell them to do it. Nobody goes around saying, hey, I liked your video, and then immediately hears you say, subscribe to this channel. Like, they're not gonna do it unless they want to hear more of you. So I find that kind of weird to say like, hey, like, subscribe, and comment down below, when they're not gonna do it if they don't like you. And even if they like you, they might not do it anyway. Oh man, I saw you moments ago.
Goodbye, then.
MSF? I feel like I should know this, but my brain has been fried because of opening probably my 80th core. And I have yet to see this stupid thing. I have yet to see you, dude.
Part with a smile. It's been a blast.
Oh, I've never heard it that way. Switzerland? Isn't it predominantly French? Man, that's such a rude, that I just insulted Switzerland, like the people in Switzerland, if that wasn't the case. Oh man, I've seen you too. Man, I should be taking pictures of all these people.
Thanks for everything.
Would it be like Médecins Sans Frontières? Or how? I don't know. I don't know the proper ways of speaking French, so it might have been butchered. I took French for 4 years, but never went back to it for like 6. So
Thanks for everything.
I stopped at 11th grade because that was the AP course, or they just called it level 4 at the time. And then I didn't take it in college because my French teacher warned me about the French professor in my college. So it was a very bizarre time for him, so I kind of avoided it. And then it degraded, so I don't know any words. The only thing I know how to speak in French, because I wanted to learn it, is
Thanks for everything.
Je peux pas de français. Je peux pas français parce que j'ai oublié beaucoup de mots. Which is, I don't know how to speak French because I forgot a lot of words. That was pretty butchered, but you know. It degrades over time. Skills degrade over time. And then Spanish, I can't tell you anything. I mean, sure, there's the greetings that it's, I wouldn't say universally said, but it's definitely frequent when talking about Spanish-speaking people, which is hola.
I'll miss you.
Or gracias, or amigo. Which in a way is a good thing, because those are all pretty positive terms that people are learning. Hey, that's a new person. I've never seen an Emma.
I look forward to our paths crossing again.
I'm gonna lose my sanity here. Grinding for something? Yes, I am. Oh man, you came back. Alright, you know what? Now that I've seen you, I'm just gonna take a whole bunch of screenshots. Because there's no freaking way I won't see this again. Apparently you are frequent enough for me to actually see. What am I grinding? Okay, so I can't show you all the things, but
Well. No use fighting it.
so there are these generic blades in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which, you know, for the most part a lot of people ignore. Which you kind of shouldn't, because there are some unique things that you can derp around with them. But there are the rare ones that are actually drawn to be different. obviously. If you're different, it's like actual anime, watching actual anime. The main character is always just different. And then there's all the side characters that look exactly the same. But these are the rare blades, and there's one left I have to get. I have everything else. It's just this one blade I don't have. And based on the stream title, which I called... I have no idea what I called it. I just called it something random. Oh, I think I called it... I now joined the cult, the NO-KOS-MOS. That's really it. I'm part of the people who don't have Cosmos.
Let's create the path.
And so I looked up ways to grind up these these crystals, which give you a chance for whatever blade that you're trying to look for, but you know, they aren't a very good chance. So I played like 140 hours in this game, and well, it's now this. I beefed up my characters to the point where they can fight and grind out one of the super bosses, so that I can get more of these core crystals, the good ones. You're trying to unlock something that you won't be using. Yes. If I do get the DLC, then I'll be using it. But otherwise, yes. Because there's a character named Tora who built his own robot partner. And I've built up that partner through a stupid game. Like mini game that you have to play to upgrade them. And they're beefed up, so I don't have to do anything. I have beefed up these people. I spent so much time into this shit. Getting all the stuff that I want for the moment. Granted, I could upgrade them even more. But, no. Like, I don't want to do anymore. And then, this is the last one. No.
Does this please, Master
I
Boss?
guess that was it. But I spent so much time putting into this stupid character. Because I had to go grab this core. And I put in a whole bunch of healing stuff. And made sure they're beefed up to take a whole bunch of aggro. And so that's how I won the game. Because I don't need any other characters. They're pointless. And now this has become like Monster Hunter, where Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, where I got all the weapons in that game, and I'm probably not going to use it. Like, there was no point in getting all the weapons in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. It was stupid, especially the Bonabra weapons. They're the worst. But I did it, and then I sold them all. Why? Because I could. And when I had multiple, like, I even sold all of my rarities, like the Azure Dragon Gem. Yes. I did that too.
Okay.
Got rid of everything. And then we went back to it, so I felt stupid. And the only weapon that we left myself was the... What is that? The captain of the guy gets gives you a longsword. I forget what that longsword is called, but I kept that as my weapon. And when we went back to it, it was awful.
I'm going to miss you.
We went back to 3U briefly because one of the person, you've met him before, Mason. He wanted to try what Monster Hunter was like, and we went back to it. I had no weapons. I had a shit ton of money because I have no idea how to get rid of money. So I bought like a longsword and a crappy armor set, and then just not longsword, but like a hunting horn, and just run into it. But before, Devin and I, or Phoenix and I, we decided that we want to go back to it, and we tried taking on a Latreon, and I died miserably because I hate longsword. I can't play longsword, and it was a Latreon. And I didn't have any armor either, so... I got rid of, like, what is that? The Edgemaster 3 with a slot as well as focus? Or like fast charge +4? I forget what the charm was, but it was good. And I threw it away.
Our paths cross again.
Cause I was like, I'm done with this game. The game I should have done was like For You, because apparently nobody wants to go back to that game. Especially with the Apex shit. And yet, Phoenix still wants to finish the one monster that we have yet to finish. Much like the giant green Plesioth, he wants to finish the naked Rajang. Apex Rajang. See, I liked For You. But I think the end grind with the what is those, the guild quest is god awful and stupid, because it wasn't necessary if you want the really powerful weapons, because all the other weapons are pretty subpar compared to that. But you know, Naked Apex for Zhang? Yeah, that's a quest. That's a DLC quest. So he wants to complete that. I kind of do, but we don't have a full group to do it. Thankfully, I didn't sell all of my weapons. I'll do that maybe once I get rid of... Once we beat that quest and I have nothing to care about, just sell it. But I would say For You has probably my favorite presentation, because the in-game animation cutscenes are amazing. I love those. But the overall grind with the guild quest was stupid. We did not finish that. Really, Naked Rajang? You must have had a really good team, but because I have never finished that. Neither has Devin. That thing is hard. Sure, he won't kill you in one hit with like his Apex form punching you, but that doesn't mean you're gonna live afterwards. And that guy hurts. You know, I should say in a frequent repetition, maybe not constantly like mentioning this, but maybe constant reminders of this. This stream will end when I either have Cosmos, which that won't happen, or I run out of core crystals. Because I am getting tired of looking at this.
Farewell.
Oh my god, we spent an hour 30 minutes opening core crystals. the This is literally what happens when Armageddon's about to happen. Just never-ending sheer panic until Armageddon actually happens,
That's a shame.
and then you say, "Well,
Oh well.
fuck it,"
Eyes forward.
and then you just close the game, and then say goodbye to it. By the way, I think it was who that. That is not it. Was it you, Mingo Bells? It seemed hinted by the word choices, but did you play this game?
Let's create the path you believed in.
I feel like someone. I mean, Lark said that she was playing it, so you know that's there. But I feel like someone else seemed to maybe not directly say it, but it seemed like
So here it ends.
they've played
I'll
it
never
before.
forget you.
He, she, they played it before. Maybe I'm going delusional here, guys. This is you don't need any drugs or mushrooms for psychedelic effects. Just play this game. No, don't play this game. Just get a whole bunch of 99 core crystals of every type and just open them. At some point, you'll go delusional. You know, this stream would be even longer if I let all the
I'll
3D
cherish my
animations
memories at this
actually
time.
play out. Let's play this one out, just for the sake of it. Let's elongate it. The stream. Oh yeah, we got Common Dude. Let's watch this entire thing.
I'm an able blade, and I'm ready to do my part.
I like how he says, "I'm an able blade. I'm ready to do my part." Well, you're doing a part. A parting.
Until next time.
Dude, Advance, you have no idea what the voice acting in some of these are. Some of them are just bizarre. And don't think the Japanese have it good. There are some really bad ones there in Japanese too.
I'll give you my all.
If I give justice boost, the only problem is I would have to go find them and then constantly just shove it in. But blech. I would actually have. See, I only have one, which doesn't really make a difference compared to like everything else. So it doesn't. I don't feel like the chances are they're gonna. I can definitely screw it over by doing this. But I don't think one is gonna make a difference. Especially with such an all-around thing. And I would. That would also mean that I would have to get the boosters, which either means I would go around the salvaging exchange places and getting the boosters. That means I would have to salvage a whole bunch before I did this. Or I would somehow get a whole bunch of dark blades and then sacrifice them to get that. But
I look forward to our paths
our
crossing
advance,
again.
if you wanna, so I would say who that? Where is she? Vess. Vess is, I would say, I would prefer the English one over the Japanese one. Because the Japanese voice actor is good. Actress is good. It's not for the character that I expect. There are some very... And Lark has yet to get to Chapter 8. But I literally called Chapter 8... the return of the weird voice directions. Oh man, it is so bad. Whoever voiced T-Rex, he's a very good voice actor, but the things that they made him do is
I'll
just the
cherish my memories
weirdest.
of this time.
Especially his screams. I would also say, who was it? Dahlia's voice actress, especially through the story that she goes through, is the strangest. But then again, everybody has like some either European British accent or a
This is
very
fate
southern
as well.
accent.
No use fighting it.
And in the story, in the beginning, the girl, you meet a girl and she talks to Dahlia, and one of the comments was, "Wow, Dahlia, you have a very pretty and very," I forget what's the word that she used. Not authentic. Formal? I don't know. Some synonym of those. And Dahlia's voice is a pure southern accent, which at the time, like, if you consider like some
I'll see you around sometime.
period within the southern, like the U.S. southern region, sure, but not in the modern era. I would call it sophisticated or like what a proper lady would have. But I don't know. I wouldn't know. I'm just insulting people everywhere. This is a great channel. Subscribe. There we go. Follow, subscribe, and like this channel if you want to be insulted. Or if you want any part of the country that you belong into or you're passionate about to be insulted.
Okay, bye
There
then.
we go. Welcome to the stream where you will be insulted. Have fun, scrubs. But man, voice direction is so weird. They have the character's animation like his mouth as if they're screaming, but you get the most monotone and that's it. The voice, the animation you can see is just like constantly screaming out something,
Cherish my memories
or
of this time.
there's a more emotional response in the elongated vocals that you're supposed to see, but what you get is just and that's it. Nothing else.
Let's create the path you believe in.
But the banner, like, when they are unscripted, I wouldn't say unscripted, but whenever they just have random character banters between them, I guess there would be some scripted, but it's not like trying to match an animation, like a cutscene. The banters are amazing. I don't know why they don't. I guess maybe they ran out of time, or they were trying to change stuff a whole bunch, and it just came out kind of derp.
Oh, that's a
But
darn shame.
yeah, cutscenes are very underwhelming compared to just them talking. Let's put 2. It won't do much. See ya, Joseph. You came to one of the saddest streams that I really have.
I look forward to our paths
Oh
crossing
man.
again.
So I just need to stream something that is even more depressing than this. Alright, I found it. I'm gonna buy Call of Duty on PC. And then just start screaming profanities for no reason, even though I'm not in the match. That's gonna be the stream. That's low bar. Would that be low bar? I don't know. I'm also insulting people who like Call of Duty.
So long.
To be frankly honest, I never found a real problem with Call of Duty as a game itself. But it in itself, it's not bad. It's just I always felt like going from, what is it?
I'll miss you.
What are the Call of Duties I played? Like 1, 2, or 2, 3. Is Blops part of it? I think Blops is part of it. They aren't bad. It's just I've never felt like they really changed anything about it to make it unique, which I guess in a sense makes sense with the realism of world, like real world aspects, because you know weaponry doesn't really change over time. Sure, you'll get more weapons, but they're pretty standardized weapons because manufacturing wise it's already there,
See you around.
so why not use it? But it's always gonna be, there's a terrorist, go kill that terrorist. I guess that really doesn't make, that's not very justifiable, because that's a lot of like shooters game. There's something terrorizing you. Go kill it with a gun. Playing rudely, I feel like
See you around.
what are the words I want to say? Yeah, I would say the toxicity is the people playing rudely, but we always attribute Call of Duty to like 12-year-olds who have no parental guidance and just blur out things. Which I guess I don't know how I feel about that. I feel kind of depressed if that's the
Okay,
case,
bye
and
then.
if that is the case on what we characterize Call of Duty, and it is justified because that always happens. But unfortunately, that's where I think main like a lot of the perceptions of what games are because of those. It doesn't also help that there's also other things that people say too, regardless of whether there's gun violence or not. Sexuality is a weird thing that people,
Okay,
I think,
bye then.
sometimes struggle to understand. Which is weird, I feel, in America, because we're great, we're happy with their sexuality, but the moment anybody tries to put it in a political spin, they're just like, no, hell no, get out of here. And it's like, don't you want it in a political spin? Like, a political stance? You gotta want to talk about it a little bit more formally. But we're okay about it informally? Weird.
Okay, bye then.
But be that as it may, going back to this game, Phoenix and I were talking about what spirit animals we would be, and we both agreed that I would be Finch, because Finch is amazing. And I have a, if anybody's ever seen me play games, especially this one and the other game, Knights of Azure 2,
Let's create the path
I can't
you
memorize any of the
believed in.
tutorials, and if you actually see the note, don't see it. But the way I've played Knights of Azure 2, I always constantly went back to the game guide, like the tutorials or whatever, which are basically just menus with text on it. But I had to read those constantly because I kept forgetting specifically what I was trying to look for. So I constantly forget. But I'm happy with Finch. Finch is amazing. And the voice actor of Finch, Bridget, and Boreas, she is amazing. So I'm happy with that.
Thanks for everything.
Suzukaza? I don't know. Didn't read the name fast enough. Speaking of games, there's a fat, I wouldn't call it a game. Would it be a game if it's on the Switch? But there's a, I randomly looked it up on the Japanese eShop, and there's a, I guess I can call it game, where you can learn
So here it
TOEIC
is.
as well
I'll
as
never forget you.
SAT. I think it was SAT or something. But for people who don't know, which I think if you're in an English-speaking nation, you wouldn't ever know. TOEIC is the SAT, English SAT for those who do not speak English. So my dad, who was born in Korea, he had to take the TOEIC to come to America. So it's English SAT, or no, I don't know how to say it. It's SAT based on English for non-speaking English people. I think that's the words I want to use.
That was real fun, pal.
My battery is low. So that's interesting. I think that's fascinating that it's on the Switch. Though I kind of find it weird that you wouldn't actually use a book or tablet or whatever, but use it on a Switch. But hey, you know what? I guess you can make the excuse that you're studying when you bring a Switch to class. So Kudos. Although that's a really expensive hardware. I guess Japan would have a supply of switches, so it wouldn't matter. Gojiro!
See you around!
There's, I think, 16 left. Am I... Okay, I was a little hopeful there. There's 20 left. The stream is ending, is coming to an end. I think for the last 10, I'm gonna just play it out. Just all of those last 10s. I mean, granted, Cosmos, of course, I'm gonna play it out, but I think for the last 10, I'm just gonna play it out, whatever they are, which is generally just gonna be Common Blades. Let us elongate this so that we pass 2 hours. 2 hours of me trying to figure out what topics to talk about while I open these disappointing presents.
Well.
This is literally
No
disappointing Christmas presents. Except I think I would rather have a pair of socks instead of these. This is just too depressing. Guys, when can EA come in and just loot box the entire thing? I want to pay $100 for that one Cosmo chance. So, Lark, there's actually a good purpose to using them. There's a video I saw of some dude deciding that, you know what, fuck it to the entire game. And you can run around with Rex only, with 2 common blades, which are tanks with blocking. And you can go around just blocking everything. Oh man, speaking of socks, I'm wearing these really nice socks that I don't know what the material is, but they are freaking soft. Soft socks are amazing. Wet socks is the worst. So someone needs, once you have wet socks, life is over at that moment. It's just too terrible. I don't mind wet shoes. I don't mind like getting my feet wet, but wet socks, worst.
That's a shame. Oh well.
Waterproof socks? Well, technically, all you had to do was just put, you can get, just place plastic bags over them. Lark, there's no such thing as never getting socks not wet. That don't happen. Hold what? Did I get a dog? I did. Or I don't know what this animal is. Panther, dog, whatever you want to call it. It's something.
So long.
I'm pretty sure I've seen Tokoto again. Oh man, I'm gonna go back to the stream just to see whether I've seen any of the characters before. This is ridiculous. I've seen you too. Oh man, but I don't know if you're a repeat or just a nut. Oh, okay. You're a rare 4. That's why. That's why I won't ever see you. You know what? Get out of here.
I look forward to our paths crossing again.
Justice boosters. Oh yeah, I got 2. Rex, do you have a higher chance? You're 8. You are 7. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. I already built you. I already removed who that girl, Pandoria on you, so that I can put 3 common blades with luck boost. Give me them luck boost. Oh yeah, there you go. Another lady that I will probably be throwing away. Man, isn't that like, if you think about this in real life, isn't that really sad? You open, like, you open it and the person's like, hey, I'm ready to serve, and you're like, get out of here, and you crush the core and throw it away or something. Okay, maybe you don't crush it, but you definitely deactivate it somehow and just throw it away. This is pure human rights abuse if this was in real life. So of course, because it's not real life, we have to treat them like crap. And we can. Goodbye.
I'll miss you.
Throw into the cloud sea. Lark, oh man, when you go through the story, the way they explain everything is just really bizarre. And you just kind of see, I want to talk about this game, especially near the end. I guess it's a oh man, I can't really say anything, can I? I want to talk about like a trope that they have, not near the end. Actually, it is near the end, but definitely something I'd be really displeased about. Say whatever I want. No one cares about spoilers. I guess not in this stream. Like, there's no point. I don't do. I just want to say, I always find it really bizarre, especially with bad, like, the perceived antagonist or bad guy. They always say some really negative things, like, the world is worthless with you guys here. I need to destroy the world. And then when you just slap him in the face a bunch, they're like, you know what? I had a good time. And I actually enjoyed living. And I was like, what? I always find that really bizarre. Like, the moment you decide, like, they would immediately say some really negative things about you, and then you slap them in the face. They're like, you know what? You're a good person. And then just fade away. That never makes any sense. Like, stay true to your feeling. And then near the beginning, like, I forget, was it chapter 4 or something? There was a scene with Jin. He was just like, you pieces of shit, you humans don't know anything. And then like moments later, he literally says, you know what? Maybe we aren't that different from humans. It's like, do you hate them or not? They like switch their ideology like really quickly. It's literally a square wave, if you know what that is, which is basically turning on a switch or off, like off a switch. It's literally. But this is the last 10s. Let's give them a preview look. My safety is definitely assured, but not my sanity here. I can't. I'm more. It's. I wouldn't say I can't believe that I opened 156 core crystals. It's more. I can't believe I decided to stream me opening 156 core crystals. Good old villainy. You know, I find that really bizarre though. I hate the world. Just get slapped in the face. You know what? I like the world.
Don't worry, I'll go above and beyond.
Does nobody else find that bizarre?
I'm gonna miss
You expect this? You spent this entire 104 like 20 hours into the game, knowing that the guy hates the world, and then immediately at the end, when you just beat the shit out of him, he's like, you know what? Because I'm dying, I have no regrets, and say I like this world. Maybe I'm the weird one to even think about that.
I hope my abilities will.
Dude, it's Krogane! Concussions? I guess. Oh my god, guys, it's Krogane. The wrong Krogane. Guys, we have our guy. It's a dog dude though. Okay, that's not you. Definitely not the same dude. So I'm a little convinced that it's actually randomly generated stuff that they just throw in. They won't actually reuse the same name. Are you at least a rare 3? You are. Oh, maybe I should check the specials. Oh, the specials are based on the weapon. Never mind. Well, I'm gonna spend my time like seeing if there's any similarities besides the name and the rank, like the rarity. What a terrible way to spend my part of my life. Do you just really have just a random horn there? Why, dude? Why? Get out of here.
I'm sure we'll meet again somewhere.
Hey, another common blade. Let's see what we get. My battery is low. But it doesn't matter. Look, stop being cool. Stop trying to be as cool as Finch.
I will do
bro.
all that I can
You ain't that
to
cool.
serve you. I didn't expect this.
I didn't expect it either. Well, you know what? I kind of did, so never mind. I did. Oh man, now we got a buff dude. Let's see if we get what kind of voice we get.
I'll fight by your side until my very soul
How
withers.
expected of your voice, and with the body that you have. Hold on, dude. What the hell? Okay, now I see a problem here. The art says the blade is sheathed from the right, but he did it from the other way. I'm calling shenanigans there. Oh man, I'm so glad I'm actually watching these animations. I can actually criticize
I'm
them.
sure we'll meet again somewhere.
Guys, we need to increase and enhance the bitmap on the eigenvalue algorithms. Therefore, Cosmos will appear. You're another Katna. I heard it once as Katna, and I was just very baffled by it, but you know what? It's Katna, I guess.
I hope we'll be partners for a long time.
The weirdest way to say the word, but you know what? Because it's weird, I kind of like it, so Katna.
Goodbye then.
Oh man. Great ways to butcher a language.
I'll give you my all.
You know, I just realized when you open, I guess in real life, if you opened a core crystal and a human popped out and then they decide to just randomly attack the air, wouldn't you be slightly freaked out?
Thanks for everything.
Look, I don't think you understand how how this game has been to me. So we got an ether cannon? Is that it? Man, that's some safe uses of the cannon.
I will
Wait,
gladly
how does
give you my
Zeke feel
strength.
about this? How would Zeke feel about this? You open a core and I guess within proximity you have a blade come out and this person just decides to spin around with a firing gun?
That's a shame. Oh well. Eyes forward.
Isn't that too strange? I don't know. Maybe not strange, but lethal. Zeke is basically your stereotypical, what, I don't know what the term is, 8th grade syndrome dudes.
I hope my abilities will suffice.
Man, I will say this, Lark. If I ever streamed Xenoblade Chronicles 2, or if I had the entire recording of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I took out all the snippets of the terrible things that this game has done to me, I'm pretty sure it'd be an hour long. Like, this core crystal thing is not, I don't consider it a terrible luck. I think when the bosses decide that they're going to summon enemies and the enemy spawns right on top of you, which puts you off a like a cliff, and then you die because of it. I think that's some sad moments. Well, this is it. We don't have Cosmos.
Been waiting for you, pal.
I wasn't waiting for you, dude.
That was real fun, pal.
I just spent 2 hours and 12 minutes streaming this thing. And we are here.
Dora, just take a peek here.
That was poorly judged.
Again?
Anyway, that was awful. We jumped off a cliff because that's awful. The entire thing was stupid. The terrible time of my life. Can we get Poppy QT to actually dance? But anyway.
Meh. Morning already?
It is new day.
Tomorrow I'm definitely going to farm the boss again so that I can have 99 rare core crystals to repeat the process. I guess, you know what? This is what I could stream for the rest of the day until Monster Hunter World comes out. Just me just trying to open stupid core crystals. Who knows if that will actually happen? And the moment Monster Hunter World comes out and I don't have Cosmos, it's over. I can stream the boss farm. I don't want to do that. It is freaking boring. Here, you know what? Before we end the stream, I will literally show you the boss farm. It is extremely boring. I don't want to show it in stream. I want to be watching some random YouTube videos, being bored out of my mind while I do this. But I will show you the boss farm.
Meh. Long journeys make Dora tired.
I guess this is spoiler? But it's not really spoiler because it's an out of place boss. I guess the only spoiler is the fact that I have characters that you won't see for a while. But let's save just to be depressed. Who knows if this run will actually go great or not, but so the more important thing is you're gonna play as Tora with Poppy QT because I can't show it there. There we go. You have two moves that you want, which is going to be primarily your break and your launch. And you're just going to set him, you're going to play as him so that he doesn't ever switch to any other characters. I'll boost this up. Huzzah. You know what? I can waste. Get her. Wait, can you boost to max? Oh, no, no, mind. Fine. And then Rex, he's going to have Mithra for topples and then Rock as for smash. So I gave Rock an augment that lets you reduce cooldown, blade switch cooldowns. I didn't do that with Mithra because I'm lazy. And then with the equipments, he needs to survive because this guy keeps dying for whatever reason. And then I did overclocking Bangle, which for more blade switch. That's about it. Everything else, just gold chips, and you will fight this guy. I fought him when I was 82, so.
Don't be afraid, friends. Target locked for interception.
Oh, this guy's moving. But it's literally a boring, terrible fight. So the first strategy you need is having Dark out. Because seal and reinforcement is the thing you'll need unless you're beefed enough to take everything. So there's the first launch. And Rock does its thing. And there you go. Legendary. Bam.
Preparations complete. Stand
by.
I don't really care about the other things because I have way too much of the materials. So, when you have gold chips, your attack damage is fairly low compared to like using any other rare chips. So you kind of ignore this, but I'll show you when it gets to the point. Actually, I'll just say it right now. So when you see the name, what is it, Viking Douglas, the moment it gets to the A, you want to have seal reinforcements by then, otherwise you will be screwed. That's when he actually does the call reinforcements, or they tell the skill, call ally. And they're a pain because there's 6 enemies with at least a range from 70, level 70s to 114 that I've seen. And one thing you want to do is have a dark element going, only so that Rex will pull out Mithra a little bit more, just to force the combo going. But of course, if you don't break, it's literally just repeat until I guess Rex dies. There we go. The only moves I would say this guy you have to worry about is the fact that he farts, and farting is terrible. Because that gives you stench, and for whatever reason, a huge launch to 2 people that I've seen. There you go. There's the fart.
Rest a while.
Like I'm going down without a fight.
Oh, there's no topple.
Why not?
Rolling smash. Rolling smash.
So Tora can't really die unless you screw everything goes wrong. So I wouldn't worry about this. There's no other commentaries I can tell you. Besides, come on, Rex, dude. Really?
That's my bad, Tora. Double spinning edge.
Topple him for once.
Steady beam. Ha!
Bro, topple.
Topple him.
Wait a bit so that the recharge comes in. And there's another smash.
It's my turn. Okay,
So let's at least do this.
Time for secret protocol. Roger, roger. Releasing final lock. Quantum judgment.
And there we go. We have the dark going for a while. We'll need that.
Ready!
Drama.
I shall not lose to such
Why
a
not?
vulgar
Ready to
beast.
strike.
And with another launch, here comes another smash.
Focus.
Rock! I am rock!
And repeat.
The mission is
Wild
everything.
volley!
Ready to strike.
Oh, come on, Rex, really? Again?
No time to rest.
This is the first time I've ever had him die more than twice. Usually only happens once.
Breaky, breaky! Steady
Poppy
beam!
will provide defense.
Rock!
What? Oh, wow.
Always have been! Always will! Let me do it!
Ooh, that... I don't think he's gonna be able to switch to Rock.
Rolling smash!
Now they're teaching.
Yeah, Rock has no defense, or
Got it!
Rex has no defense whatsoever, so you kind of just have to
Wild scythe!
believe in him, or believe in the heart of the AI.
Yeah!
I've
got it well in hand.
Do you think it's tasty?
Rolling smash! Launchy, launchy! Ha!
And another smash.
Kick it off.
I guess I really
So
am
at
the
this
best.
point, once you get to around the L
Breaky! Yeah! Steady beam!
Poppy will provide defense.
of the health,
Wild scythe!
you want to start your
Yeah!
chain attack. That way you can have an extra item bonus.
First blow is tastiest
Poppy
blow!
ignition.
Oh, I screwed that up.
Rex, Rex!
Oh well.
Leave it to Tora!
Finish this.
There you
You
go.
got it.
Overkill starts.
Get him, Nia!
Here I come.
At
Ready
your
or
service.
go Morty.
It's not over yet! Go!
So this isn't a really complicated fight compared to any other dudes, because
Pie operating
there's
at maximum output.
not much
Rex, Rex! Leave it to
mechanics
Tora!
to this guy besides the fart and the seal reinforcement.
Get him, Nia!
I'm not really in the mood to do much.
And we'll see if we get another legendary. Yes.
See, Gramps?
So the thing about this guy,
Phew.
which
Close
is
one.
basically whether you're lucky or not, is if you see him drop 2 core crystals, one of them is guaranteed to be legendary. So there you go. That is it. I guess I can open these right now, but how many did I get? There you go. 6 and 9 during that one run. Depending on your luck, you might have less or more, but a good enough run. Should I even open these right now? I don't know. But I do recommend you fight them around 82 and just the thing I did with Tora in the beginning is dexterity. He needs to actually hit for the break, because breaking actually stops some of the animations, so you might be able to get that, and then beta scope. But yeah, I think this is the end of the stream. There's not much to say. Gold chips you want to fight. If you're trying to cheat the game, when you get to Temperantia, there's a blue fish down in this region that you want to fight. It's a very small chance, but you can have it. And then whoops, spoilers. Here it is. There it is. Head? I think it's the head. Yes. There will be a boss in this area. You have to open it by a side quest, I think. That's going to be given in Garfont Village, but once you get there, there's going to be a super boss that also drops legendaries and a higher chance with gold chips. Just apply it onto your characters immediately so that you can get more gold chips and then go back to the farming. But yeah, thank you for the comment, Fury Bane. I tried to make this as entertaining as possible without all the terrible things I don't like about streams with face cam, smaller screen size, and borders that don't make sense. But yeah, thank you for watching. I don't know if I want to stream tomorrow, but wait until June 26th. Hopefully. I pre-ordered the game from Amazon, and I will be streaming Monster Hunter on that day. So until whenever I stream, you guys have good luck and a good chance with this game, because I didn't. Bye-bye.